Inside the Rapper's Studio, another day, another excellent episode ahead of us. Episode 49. Tomorrow's the big 50, the big Virgil. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I'm gonna do for that episode yet, but yeah, we'll get to it. Today, we are going to have Alienood in the house. Talking about a few things today. Talking about UFO, DJing online, DJing on, in Paris and things like that. Yeah, it's gonna be a solid interview. I can't wait. Excitement. Let me see if I can get DJ Alienood in here. There you go. Send that. Hopefully everybody had a solid week. I mean, granted, it's as good as it's going to get due to, the planet being the planet. But yeah, we're just making the best of it. Oh, boy. Man, this has been a good day. Got some beats going. Started writing some stuff for this new project that I'm working on. I've been hinting at it. I don't know if you guys have seen it or anything like that. Yeah. I got that going on. I made like 3 beats the other day. I was aiming for 4, but I just didn't have the 4, but I was just satisfied with the 3. Yeah. Working in Birkin. Working for the Birkin, indeed. Hopefully DJ Alienood will be in here so we can get things going. Sent to live. We got in here. Just wondering where my boy is at. So for tomorrow, I kind of don't know what I really want to do, but it's going to be alive. I'm not going to leak any music. I feel like that's kind of inappropriate at this point. I'd much rather enjoy my Saturday night with you guys. Real simple little soiree. I might wear a suit so you guys can make all the jokes that you want, but you won't deny the fact that I am a sport showman. That's gonna be a funny day. Actually, I think I'll do that. I want to mess up everybody's head. All right, Alienood's in the building. We're gonna get started. Let's see. How long is this phone? It's getting up there. But once you start glitching, I'm gonna just throw the ice pack on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, let's get it going. Episode 49 of Inside the Rapper's Studio. Of course, I'm your host, Scorsese, and today we have a more special guest in the building. My opinion, I don't think I probably would make him in terms of career-wise without the tooth of this guy right here. Basically put me on a show for a couple times, and then right after that, momentum started going. But it all started with the person at the bottom of the screen. So,
thank you, man.
I thought you was gonna get episode 50, but like shifted around. So now I got to do something for episode 50.
Yeah.
You get the honorary 50. DJ, host of UFO, also a great human being. Works with kids, works with charity work and community work, and also a cool guy with EDM, not EDM, dance music taste.
I do EDM. I mean, I do.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I do EDM. I do dance music. I do rap. I do R&B. I kind of like try to do a little bit of everything.
But he's a man that does it all. But nonetheless, everybody, welcome. Drop hearts, drop likes, drop comments for DJ Alienood. How's it going, broski?
It's going all right. Can I just say before we get started, really, that I love that robe vest.
This is something that I wear when it's like way too hot where I record. Like I would do the whole swap out thing and this, that, and the third, but I'd rather compromise with still wearing a robe for the audience, but still not sweating my life away.
Yeah, you are killing it with it. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Some people call me Fred Flintstone. I think that's
That's
um,
not
it,
the vibe I was getting, but
but yeah, with every episode of Inside the Rapper Studio, basically there's the origin story told by the bottom screen. So, DJ Alienood, could you tell us how everything got started musically for you?
um, that's a good question. I think really, like I've really always been involved with like music in some capacity, even as like a little kid, you know.
I have this and this.
You hear me?
All right, go again. It was a
Yeah.
little pick up.
My mom would have me signed up with like all kind of like African music kind of classes and stuff like that.
Right.
And I've just always been like, I used to sing when I was like a really, really little kid. And like as I got older, I always just like knew that I was gonna be involved with music in some capacity. And it's like, I have people in my family that are involved with music. Like one of my cousins is just like super involved with music, and he actually like was like in this band in Baltimore and like really all over the world. Um, and he would just introduce me to like all these people he would meet in like the kind of like Baltimore like music scene. And this is when I was like 16, and he's taking me to meet all these people. And then I had other cousins who like I had another cousin who was like teaching me to DJ when I was like like 17 or I think even younger than that, like like on like vinyl, and just like DJing in his basement. And as I got older, I realized that like I just kind of needed to have some kind of way to express myself
Right.
musically. So actually what happened is when I was in community college after high school, um Elon.
Of course.
Yeah, I actually like I met Elon in college, and Elon actually was like, we kind of just like were like mad cool. He's like, yeah, what's up, man? What's up? Like, we just kind of like started kicking it, and
Right.
he like, you know what? I'm gonna give you FL Studio because he just had FL Studio cracked on his computer, and he just like gave it to me. So I
That's
was just
cool right there.
yeah, that was love. I was like, all right, what's up? He just gave it to me, and like I guess it was like I just kind of started like messing around with it, and then like I think as people really listened to my music, then people were like booking me for shows, and I was just like, at first I was just like, playing shows with Elon, but then people like started like booking me like specifically.
Mm.
So like, all right, well, I mean, I'm not gonna turn down like basically
Okay.
free, not
Gigs.
really doing work. It's not like I'm just like, at that point I was just like standing up on the stage like press and play, you know. So
Not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I do like a little bump, you know.
Right.
So yeah, at that point I was like, yeah, I mean I might as well. And then I guess it really just like kind of just took off from there, like just people booking me for like, just kind of like bigger platforms and stuff. And that basically sums it up, I think.
Fair enough. I, I think that's a great summary of the beginnings of DJ Alienood. I want to reach more into like the DJ bag in terms of like how everything got started for you within there. And you said that you were taught by someone. How was the learning curve on the ones and twos?
Oh, the learning curve on the one and two is just like it's like you like have to be like completely prepared to just totally fail.
Mm.
You like that, which I really was not. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get on this, and then I'm gonna just crush. Nobody's gonna even know like how good I'm about to be, and then like I just like, you know, it was just like it was a disaster. And then like I don't remember what I did, But my cousin was like, never do that. And I was just like, oh, okay.
Was it like a bad transition?
I think what happened was like I scratched the vinyl in some kind of way with the needle in like just some weird way. I can't even remember what I did. But he really was like, don't
And
ever do it.
so with DJing, a lot of I think I had several people on for Wheels of Steel Week that kind of expressed the way DJing made them felt within the community of like hip hop. Whereas though a lot of the times the shine is really on like, you know, the artists, you know, just like the visuals and stuff like that. So I wanted to get your perspective on the role of the DJ in the year 2020.
I think the DJ really, um, you know, I kind of like really feel like it's not really as like important right now, just because like so many people want to DJ, so it's like kind of like really saturated. Um, as far as like compared to like with the artists, like there's really no denying that like like rap is just like a huge global like phenomenon, and it's like rap is basically like the only thing that like really most people really want to hear,
Right.
I think outside of the United States, like kind of like electronic music and stuff like that is like kind of like bigger, and like pop music is bigger than rap in like a lot of countries outside the United States, but here it's like really like the number one thing. So, in that respect, you like really have to like kind of take it all in stride, you know, and just kind of get in where you fit in, you know. Um, I think a lot of what I've been able to do has just been like kind of out of like pure like luck and like
Hmm.
privilege of like information, like being able to like just being in the right place at the right time, like like I've had people like approach me and like trying to like get involved with like DJing and stuff like that, and like really have no idea like how to get started, and I just like that was just never a problem for me. Like I've always known like, oh yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna do this, and then da 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 da. So it's just like I think like it's DJing is important because obviously people want to hear music, you know. Um, but it is like really important to like be like a content creator, you
Hmm.
know. And I think DJing kind of like I don't know. I think I'm not gonna say it like it needs to take a back seat to like like the artist. I think that like DJing and the artist can be like we can kind of like coexist. Yeah, yeah. Cause like back in like the origin of like hip hop and stuff, it
The
was like
DJ was the star.
all about the DJ.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
then they started bringing rappers along, and then people were like, "Oh, this guy's nice. Like he's pretty good. Like this is a good little duo they got set up."
Right.
And I really think that like we really need to tap back into like the history of like everything that we have going on, like especially considering like what's going on now. Like it's just we really need to like kind of come together. Like yeah, that's all.
I'm actually glad that you mentioned like the early role of the DJ within like the early stages of hip hop, which is kind of rare for me to even talk about this. Ironically enough, on the hip hop show, so I'm going to take that out now. So essentially, like the role of the DJ, early '70s, it was all about them. They were the stars. They were the ones that everybody got to notice from. And I feel like historically, it went from Eric B to Eric B and Rakim to just Rakim. There's no more like
Yeah,
going to get that shine.
yeah.
So do you feel as though if there is a way for the DJ or I guess the producer nowadays, in a sense, the producer and the rapper would kind of have that coexistence?
Um, I think it just takes a lot of effort. Like obviously people are gonna be like more kind of like people, a lot of people are like very like visual people, you know. So when they see something, that's like what they are like attracted to. So when they see like a rapper just doing his thing, they're gonna like their immediate focus is gonna be on the rapper, you know. Um, I think unless the DJ is doing something that like you don't really see a lot, there's not really going to be any kind of opportunity for that. Like like the DJs just need to step it up. That's just really point point. I'm not trying to be like
I
like
didn't say
whatever,
it.
but that's really just the fact of the matter is that DJs need to just step it up because like I don't really see how you're gonna like complain about like not having this or that and like you're not like like you're not really bringing anything unique to the table, you know.
Right.
Um, Other than that, like I guess just man, that is a good question. Um,
I throw a lot of curveballs here.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
I like kind of brag.
Oh,
Like I feel
yeah.
like a lot of the times, like I kind of throw like a good question just so I can get some like good response and good,
Yeah.
I guess, opinion in a
Yeah.
sense.
You're really making me think right now. I never
If you
thought
want to
about.
skip it, I do not mind if you skip. Honestly, it's all up to you.
All right. Yeah, but yeah, I think what needs to happen is that like I think like a situation really like what's happening right now is like really important for people to understand like really truly how important like DJs are. You know, because there's really like there are no rap shows happening right now. There's no shows of any kind happening anywhere right now. So there's really like I mean, unless you already have like this huge like following, there's really not gonna be any kind of attention on you whatsoever, like as an artist. But DJs really still have an opportunity to like develop a platform and like, develop like a following. And what I've been doing recently is just like really just exclusively DJing online, which like to be completely real has done like the short amount of time that I've been doing that compared to like the amount of time that I had been DJing like around the city and like like New York or Philly or something like that. Like it's done more for me in that short amount of time than anything I ever done like really before. Cause like developing like a fan base in like another country while I'm just like sitting in my bedroom, like it's just like there's really nothing you can really compare that to because it's like so effortless and it's like you're getting so much out of it, you know?
That's true. I feel like now that we're on the subject of broad expansions in terms of like DJing and stuff, I feel like in terms of being on the internet right now, I feel like it's the best time to start expanding, not just like, what I'm saying, within your city, within your country, but globally. Whereas though like pretty much everybody's online, not just Americans, but everybody's
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you feel as though there's more opportunity for DJs such as yourself that live in America to pretty much broaden your horizons?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like that's not even a question, you know? That's like if I could only like how can I even say this? Like it's become such a huge thing that people like, like DJs and like the weird internet music scene, whatever, are like overwhelmingly like getting involved with like DJing online. And it's like this whole new movement of people like trying to get like on these platforms and stuff. And like, it's just crazy. It's really just crazy because it's like, now that we're like having like whole festivals that are just online. Like it's like 200 some DJs on a flyer for a festival that's just gonna be online. Like, and of course, that's not like a lot of that is like very like kind of like who kind of based on and it's really just like a lot of the same issues that was going on before, as far as just like getting booked for shows, just like in your city or like wherever else, and just kind of like it's still a lot of the same like racial issues. Like I recently saw a show that had like what like 100 something people booked, and it was only like two or three people like of color, period. Like let alone black people,
Yeah.
color, period, on this like 100 person lineup. It's like you really couldn't find like two or three other DJs. Like you really don't know anybody. Like
I feel like I really want to like bring up the discussion of racism within the DJ world because I
oh
feel like
God.
that's really not described in terms of just the hip hop scene in general. Because weirdly enough, that we're not the people in power anymore when it comes to our genre, when it comes to our culture.
Yeah.
So, from the DJ's perspective, what have you faced within like this DJ world in terms of like racial discrimination?
Oh my God, man. Like you know, a lot of people that I've like reached out to like do shows and stuff, like you'll really get like the most like outlandish like answer as to why they can't book you. You know, it'll be like, "Oh, that's just like not really our vibe." Like I tried to book this like club in DC, and they emailed me back like, "Oh, it's not really our vibe." Like, and I'm just like, "Well, I just played a show there like 2 months ago or something like that,
Right.
and now it's not your vibe." But you know, um, or just even in Baltimore, like obviously Baltimore is like an extremely segregated city in general. So of course the music kind of scenes are gonna be like
Segregated.
reflective of that. Um yeah, it's like a whole like huge white like kind of art student, whatever, like
Micah vibes.
yeah, but not even Micah vibe. There's like, there's like Micah, Hopkins, like University of Baltimore, which are like, it's just like a whole, like the whole, and then you got, you add in
White.
like Fells Point, Fed Hill, all of that stuff, like Canton, all of that stuff. It's just, obviously like all like mostly white people that own those clubs and stuff like that. And you if you market yourself in like a certain way, as far as like hip hop, a lot of people like are not really trying to fuck with that. Like, it's like, oh yeah, well we're not really like a hip hop club. We play like techno or this or that. And it's like I don't like, yeah, I incorporate like techno into what I do, but I don't only do techno. Like that would be weird. And I mean, like, just as far as techno is considered, like, it's so funny that it's being used as like a way to discriminate against us. Cause like a lot of people don't notice, and a lot of even black people don't know this, but we actually invented techno as we invented like most things. So yeah, it's like, so we're like, this thing that we created is now being used against us. It's like some weird like Frankenstein monster, like whole Twilight Zone shit. I don't know, but um,
I think it's one of those interesting things that's been like told to us from time to time again, how it happened to jazz, how it happened to rock and roll, and like how eventually it was going to happen to hip hop. Even
yeah,
in the video where Erica Badu was in like whole like DJ hip hop like seven, and when you turned the camera, it was nothing but white folk. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So from the DJ's perspective, how is it, especially a black DJ at that, how is it going to these events and stuff like that, playing stuff that we pretty much invented, pretty much like put the groundwork and the blueprint down and have like the crowd receptive, completely opposite of the people who make it?
Oh man, That's really honestly, that's a lot of the reason why I kind of like stepped away from like kind of like DJing in venues, like even before all this happened, because I just had so many. Like I really take music and like dance and like all everything like really serious. Like I'm like a very serious person. I know I like joke around a lot and stuff, but as far as music, like I really don't like to joke around about it. And it just like makes me irritated when like people who don't really know anything about the culture like try to like project all these like messages and images onto you as an artist. Like so like I'll just say for instance this one time I was DJing at the Crown obviously.
It,
Um
it's interesting.
at the Crown obviously and you know I was like playing my Baltimore club set just getting into like some kind of old school kind of stuff. And I had somebody walk up to me. He was a brown kid. I think he might have been like Indian or something. I don't know. But anyway, he was like, "Hey, can you play some dance hall?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been actually waiting to play dance hall all night," which was actually true. I really have been waiting to play dance. I love dance hall. So I was like, "Yeah." So I just played like for like the next like 45 minutes. I played like hella just like the movie Shot Us?
Oh, what?
All right, yeah. So I played like a lot of from the Shot Us set. I basically just played the Shot Us soundtrack for like the rest of my set. And then like in the like halfway through that, the same kid walks up to me and he's like, "So are you gonna play any dance hall?" And I'm just like, man, I'm like really just like wanna like flip this whole board over and just throw all this shit right in your face. Cause like I don't even like. How do you even like?
I'm trying to figure out when did dance hall become like, sorry, dance hall,
Yeah,
dance hall become like the official like Towson theme for like,
don't know.
artists and stuff like I kind of want to blame Rihanna. I'm not going to blame Rihanna.
No, no.
Like,
Can't blame me.
like the
You know who it was? You know who it was? It was Drake. It was Drake. It was Drake. Drake was the one who did that. He was the one who was as he's responsible for like everything. He's like basically like the biggest rapper in the world at this point. And you remember that point in time when he was doing all that like kind of like tropical islandy sound or whatever.
like it's a Kool-Aid flavor.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just like basically just like the Kool-Aid with just like slightly too little sugar, like
like with the zero sugar in the pack.
yeah.
Disgusting.
So it's just yeah, exactly. So it's just like all right, now like all these like white kids, which is it's really funny because like this whole scene of like white people that are like into like I guess what they call rhythm, which as me and developed from reggae.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
That's why it irritates me.
Yeah, me too.
Like I legit had a conversation today about like, what I'm saying, reggae in general and how it got completely like it's one of the most things that got like completely colonized over the years.
Oh my god.
Really see.
Oh my god. I'm so glad you just said that.
Like to the point where like roots reggae in itself, something that's very revolutionary, something that's very like stuff that should be played in the streets during these times of like civil unrest and stuff.
Yeah.
How it got turned into the theme song to Forever 21.
Yeah. What is that?
Like, I don't want to know where in that timeline did it happen.
I don't even know, but like I'm like I use like personally I've always like to this day I still see reggae as like incredibly revolutionary and like it's just like really just moving when you just like really listen to it and like oh man like even just like Bob Marley or something like his music was like extremely revolutionary like and during a time where like there was literally like a political, like, damn near civil war happening in Jamaica between, like, essentially like communists and Nazis.
Pretty.
And like, he was just, I guess, like, just like using music as a way to just say, like, I'm not gonna like try and take sides on this. Like, I'm like a man, and I'm like a person of God, basically. Like, I'm not gonna like allow like this political stuff to define me, which was like extremely revolutionary at the time. And like, he really like he got shot. Like, he
Yeah.
got shot. So it's just like, to take that energy and to turn it into, like, you know, like peace, love, unity, whatever. Like, I respect that. I love it, but that's not what it. It's not the origin of it. Like, like,
I feel like it's one of those things that, like, when it comes to just straight up taking the power within music, especially as black music and black people with black music, some of that power has been like castrated due to commercialization and due to capitalism and due to straight up like business. Do you feel as though will there ever be an era where as though that revolutionary music will like come to the forefront again?
No, I don't.
That's
But
fair.
I really think that, like black people, we've always been able to create something new out of something that, like, no one wants, you know? Like, we always are able to just kind of like on the fly just create this like beautiful thing, you know? And I think as time progresses, like, as always, we'll be able to create something new,
Hmm.
and like, essentially we won't even really need like the stuff from like the past or whatever. Like, it's important and it's part of our history, but I feel like as long as we know that it's ours and we're able to look back on that, I feel like we'll be able to continue moving forward and just like creating what we need to create to go with the times.
Absolutely. First of all, huge, 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 huge thank you for joining me for today and answering all these
Yeah.
tough stuff like that. Huge thank you to everybody that's in the live right now. I know I've been doing my waves, but I just want to give a few shout outs to everybody that's sticking around. Huge shouts out to Taser. Shouts out to Just About Nothing. Shouts out to Princess Mila. Shouts out to Mary Millennial. It's a lot of folks in the building. I really appreciate it. So, once again, this is episode 49 of Inside the Rapper Studio. We had the wonderful guest of Alienood. Once again, thank you very much for joining me today. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about was your event series called UFO. Could you
Yeah.
give us details on how all of that started?
UFO started as just like, it was never it was really just like me wanting to book like my friends, because I felt like me and my friends weren't getting like the representation that we wanted, for like the kind of culture we wanted to see in the city.
Right.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna like hook that up, because, like, we had already been like hanging out in the Crown and stuff like that. So, like, the booking guy, like Mikey or whatever, he already, like, we already knew him. So I really just like messaged him on Facebook and was like, hey, can I do this? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I just kind of started doing it. And I did it 1 month and it was like pretty cool. And then I did it the next month and it was like, oh, this is kind of getting cool. So I did it the next one and it was just like it was like crazy. And it's like, as I progressed more and more, like, it kind of just like really started to get more and more out of control. Um,
Hmm.
then it kind of just like started to die off, and it was just kind of like I kind of like lost my passion for it, I guess. So I just like really stopped putting like a lot of effort into booking shows. Um, Especially like as I got more involved with like DJing on the internet. Another thing though is just because like I don't know. Like I really am appreciative of everything that I was able to do there, but like ugh, there's like some weird vibes going on there as well as like every like venue in Baltimore. And I'm specifically talking about money, you know.
If it's legal or anything like that, that you're got a case pending, I have to let you know now. Legally, I don't want you
No,
to.
no,
I
it's nothing like that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
nothing like that. It's
All I
not.
got about that legal whatever, just in case
No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that.
Okay.
It's just the money. Like like if I'm bringing people from out of state and we make like whatever like $500 or something altogether for this night from the door and the bar, I don't want to get like $70 or something like that, and have to split that between like four people. You know what I mean? Like
I know exactly what you mean.
That's just like not an option for me.
Do you feel as though that's a regular thing within every venue, not just like, what I'm saying, Station North?
I can 100% for sure tell you that is definitely a thing that goes on with like I won't say every venue, but like almost every venue does the same exact thing. At least like the ones I've booked at. It's like it's weird like like 70-30 or like no, like even like less than that, like split, you know?
Right.
And it's I'm not like a college student. I'm not like in high school. I'm not some kid. I'm not like doing this for clout. I'm not doing this for like exposure. I don't really care about that. I'm like an adult and I need money to live or I'll die. So just continue to do this while, and they're like, it would be one thing if like we were doing this and like these venues were making an effort to like actually invest back into us, but they've made it like abundantly clear that they're not willing to do that. So it's like even just like simple things like can we get CDJs, which is just like like a DJ board that like if you go to like New York or something like that, like most you know developed cities across the country, if you go to a venue, they'll have CDJs there. You don't have to bring like your computer and like all this other stuff with you. They'll just have it on the site. So when you want to book people from out of state, like a lot of times they're like, oh, do you have CDJs? And I got to tell them no, we don't. And they're like, oh, well, I can't come.
Right. It kind of messes up their money, not just yours.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not gonna like ask someone to come out of state and then like like I can't give them what they are requesting. Like that'll just make us both look dumb, so
Venues do a lot of that.
yeah.
I feel like personally, when it comes to venues, especially when it comes to the city, they're literally there just for like a short amount of time until like we, as in our people, get like our own property and our own management and build upon that. So I feel like if there's anything that this quarantine has taught us, especially this civil unrest that it's taught us, is that ownership is very much key right now, especially phase two, because us as Black musicians in the city, we don't have any ownership. I don't want to say we don't have any ownership. We barely have any ownership, and the ownership we usually do have, it's under par. It's very sneaky. It's very cutthroat, and it doesn't help anybody.
but themselves.
Yeah.
In your honest opinion, when it comes to venues in the city, do you feel as though there's some like hope within the second phase of like everything opening up?
Um, no, I don't. I kind of feel like like just to be completely no, I don't. I think that like a lot of people, the reason that like the venues are able to operate like that is because they know ultimately that there's always just going to be like this revolving door of like kids coming into like the city trying to like make a name for themselves, so they'll just like jump through whatever hoops they have to in order to just like be able to play a show period anywhere, let alone like the Crown or like you know like whatever else in Station North there is, like whatever is going on. Um, so yeah, they really just like don't really have any real incentive to change, and we've like a lot of the artists have like collectively gone to the Crown and been like, yo, we need you to like to change, like this needs to change. Or like not just the Crown, but like so many different places. And just being like, you need to get this, you need to get this. This is weird, this is different, and we need this. And they're just like really don't care. So it's just like I think really what we need to do is just like we need to like create a situation where the venues understand that they need us. We don't need them. That's kind of like do for myself personally. Is just create a situation where like no individual venue can really like make or break what I do. So I think if like a lot more people had that mentality, then um some genuine change would happen. But it also just like a lot of work. Um like literally like sending emails like every day, maybe like 5 or 10 emails every day. Um and just like getting told no like a lot. Um which I guess like I guess a lot of people are just like not really willing to do. Like for me, it's just like it's nothing. People being told no to me means like nothing. So it's like whatever. But but I guess a lot of people just like don't really want to go through that whole tedious process of like writing this thing out and sending it out and being told like, oh, that's not really what we're looking for. Sorry. Which that's real.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think the fear of rejection really just like kind of holds a lot of artists back because they kind of just release things on the sake of everyone else instead of releasing things on the sake of themselves.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though that's the case for DJs as well?
Yes, 100%. Which is really why I've made such a effort to like do everything exclusively for myself. Um, just even as far as like the music, like visually, things that I want to do, like everything I do is like just whatever I think is appealing and interesting to me. Um, but yeah, like that's a huge, huge thing as it like, in every like art form, people just want to create something that they feel like is marketable. So, you know, they can make money. Like it's
Yeah. I
really
mean,
simple.
that's what really all it comes down to is just money.
Yeah. Yeah. If you just want to make money. And as I was like, I'm not gonna like tell you to not make money. Like that's obviously a good thing to do that. Um, that's just like not necessarily what I'm trying to do right now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love money and whatever I can do to make money, I'll do that, but I'm not really willing to like um like compromise my art for that, because I just feel like if that's the case, then I might as well just be like working as like a accountant or something, like, you know, like what's like
It's
what
passion.
what's
It's
like
all about the calling.
I'm sorry.
It's all about the passion. It's all about the calling.
Yeah, yeah. It was just like, if I just like work in marketing or something like that, if that's really what you want to do, like you can still be involved in like making like, creative like stuff or whatever. And you can make a lot of money. So like maybe you should just do that.
I mean, some people just don't really like, in my opinion, when it comes to just like the sacrifice of art and finance, some people try to find that middle road. And honestly, I feel like I feel like most of us find that middle road, especially artists like us that really care about, what we want out of the work.
Yeah,
Follow.
yeah.
But yeah, great interview so far. Well, of course, not really so far.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to Alienood for coming through, answering tough questions, being a gracious guest, and allowing me to be a gracious host. Do you have any last words, any last promotions, or any last propaganda for the people?
Um, yeah, actually, I think that given the situation that we're in right now, it's very important for everybody to stay grounded and just kind of take care of yourself, number one, and take care of the people that are immediately around you. I know everybody like wants to save the whole world, but unfortunately, we are human beings who do not have that ability. Um, so that's the key. Um, as far as like promotions, I'm actually doing a radio show tomorrow and every Saturday on Data Fruits, which is just an online kind of radio station, which you can find at datafruits.fm. I'm on every Friday, or I'm sorry, every Saturday at 8 p.m. Recently, I've just been playing a lot of like Malcolm X speeches and just like different speakers, um, just because that's really what I feel like people need to hear right now.
Right.
And I've kind of like taken a step back from the music because it's just like, honestly, like working on music for me right now just kind of feels like I'm just like pissing in the wind. And it's just like, what am I even doing? um, but that's just me personally. Um, yeah, I just have a lot of anxiety about that right now. So I kind of like, I think this is more important. I do other a couple of other radio shows once a month. One is with Veneno Radio, which is based in Sao Paulo, Brazil,
Ooh.
and I do another one once a month with Internet Public Radio, which is based in Guadalajara. Um, so just if that's what you're into, you can check it out.
International Alien, we love it.
Yeah.
So, coming up next on Inside the Rapper Studio tomorrow, it's going to be the 50th episode special. Wah, 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 wah. I don't know what I'm yet. Honestly, I might just sit in the robe, smoke a J, sip some wine, and bring people on live. Honestly, I have no other plans with this. This legitimately was supposed to be 50 episode celebration.
Yeah.
But being as though I had to drop out in a week, I kind of had to shift gears a bit. So tomorrow, we'll honestly just go on live, do whatever you want, come in, challenge me on Smash, do a lot of things. But just, yeah, do what you want tomorrow. I don't care. But yeah, thanks to everybody that came through. Well, 1 second, 1 minute, or the entire episode. Huge shouts out to IG for acting right. Whole episode, no commercial breaks. Please keep up the good work because we know we are not used to working, period. Yeah, and that's about it. So, from your most gracious host, Score Swayze, and our most wonderful guest of episode 49 of Inside the Rapper Studio, DJ Alienood, I would like to say, guys, I would like to tell you guys, thank you very much. And as always, wash your hands, stay in the house. Appreciate it, Alienood.
Yeah, thank you.
Problem.